Welcome, friends, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word. Approaching the tee box now, your host, Craig Dufton.
Hey.
Back again.
Welcome.
Morning.
Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope you had an unbelievably socially distant Thanksgiving. How's that? I'm welcoming back the lovely J9 as always. And
welcome back.
Josh Frias has joined us for the second podcast in a row. It's I don't know what's going on. It's a trend. He had nothing else to do. So
he loves the Masters, that's why.
Yeah, he does love the Masters.
Yep.
He loves talking Masters, loves talking golf. And of course, our awesome producer, executive producer, I promoted him this week.
Oh,
he's our executive
fantastic.
producer, Ben Kitchen. They saying hello or no?
So are you adding me an extra quarter to my hourly?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm up to $2.25 an hour.
You're up to $12.50. The buffet plate costs $12.50. So last week we were chatting about the Masters, and I thought we'd continue it a little bit more because it's really a great subject. Means a lot to me that it's my Super Bowl every year. I think, to be honest with you, I love football, but I honestly love watching golf. And I know that sounds boring, and probably half of you are going to turn off the podcast right now. But listen, if you love golf and you love the Masters and you love that tradition as much as I do, then please stay with us. And if you have any comments or questions, love to hear them. So welcome back, Josh.
Thank you, Craig. What did you think? You really liked having it in November? I thought it was so strange. I missed having it in April. Like it's you know that when the Masters is there in April, that spring is right around the corner for us up here in New England.
I agree.
And I missed not having that this past April. But it was, don't get me wrong, we had a great weekend to watch it. I think the scoring was very high because these guys could be aggressive going at the pin because of the fact that it was so much softer than it otherwise would be. No patrons. So some guys talked about how they wouldn't be able to take a certain line sometimes in the past because there would be fans, and now they could just go for it. So I think some of that all
changed the game.
It plays into a lot of the record breaking. I mean, not to take anything away from Dustin Johnson, he was awesome, but I do think that with all of the scoring that happened, a lot of it is
Justin Thomas. You had you had Smith, you had McIlroy, Fratelli. I mean, just unbelievable. These guys were so far under par. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. You have how many people under par?
Interesting. That's a lot of different factors.
And the one disappointment, the guy that just had so much, so many people were propping him up was Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
I mean, he was expected to really give a run at this thing. And I just think early on in his first round on Thursday, he cranked a couple this way, that way, and it just threw his whole round off. Whereas, DJ was steady Eddie all 72 holes.
Yep. It was pretty incredible. It's very tough to play that golf course, to be for your first time to play that golf course and compete. To win it is ridiculous. I think there's only been one person. I think it was I'll look it up. But I think there's only one person that's played the Masters for the first time and won it.
They said the guy, he was from Mexico. He was in it for a while up until Sunday. The wheels fell off on him. Yeah. But it was his first time playing it. And I remember seeing an interview after Saturday's round where he had played well and was up there in the leaderboard. But he definitely spoke to how challenging it is to really learn it for the first time. And what's the reason behind why they couldn't have the books? Is that one of Augusta's rules where they don't have the books and the charts and all that? Because they spoke about that a lot. Yep. That guys didn't have their green reading books out, and they all had to kind of play it by eye.
Huh.
So,
yes, it was
more challenging.
It was interesting. It was, when you asked me if I would rather have it in April, absolutely. I mean, that's where it was. Mm-hmm. That's where it's always been. But do I think it was pretty cool to have it in the fall? I do. I kind of liked having the fact that they didn't go out there and blow the greens after every guy went through was kind of crazy because they had the pine needles falling all over the place. Mm-hmm. And you're right. It was a really good golf course to attack. It was a totally different golf course from that aspect of it. They could really dial it in and go after it. And I thought there were going to be a few hole in ones. There were a lot of. I mean, Dustin Johnson's eagle on 2. He hit it to like 6 inches. He hit this, absolutely awesome. Just roped it. I mean, it's so hard to say anything bad about his game on Saturday. It was absolutely flawless. And on Sunday, he just did exactly what he needed to do, and still. Yeah,
he was very smart on Sunday. Yep. He had the big lead. He just knew that he had to not lose it. Mm-hmm. And, his brother being on the bag, I think, was really cool at 18. Awesome. And, they were both tearing up before the tournament was technically even over.
That's awesome.
Similar to Jack in 86 with his son on the bag.
Yeah.
That family tie there is just amazing. And
he talked about it afterwards. He was like, there's nobody else that I would want to share that with, and he said, he's making me cry. And I'm like, hey, dude, you got to stop making me cry. I'm like, I still got to finish.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the Masters. We talked about the history of the Masters. So I thought I'd throw a fun fact out at you before we throw you a fact that most people know, but Bobby Jones. And we talked about Cliff Roberts I'm going to say something positive about him this week. They bought the land, 365 acres. It was a nursery. It was a greenery, right? Mm-hmm. It was called Fruitland Nurseries in Augusta, Georgia. And he was friends with Alastair Mackenzie, a famous British architect, or Scottish architect, I should say. In 1931, they started building the course. And here's the fact that you may not have known about Alastair Mackenzie, okay? And they were very good friends. People thought that he had hired him, or that he was looking for him, or lured him, or anything like that. No, they just had a shared love of, believe it or not, they had a shared love of the old course at St. Andrews. They wanted to do something that was like this in the United States and it was really for amateurs. So he died though before the course was finished, Alastair Mackenzie. Okay, he didn't die horribly. I apologize. So it was 3 months before the first Masters. Alastair Mackenzie died. So unfortunately, he never got to see the Masters finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he made a heck of a golf course.
They certainly did.
Well, sucks to be him.
Yep, certainly did. But
there you go.
I love Ben's humor.
Yeah.
I get it. No.
We get Ben. Other fun facts. What would say that? Oh, here was one too. That Bobby Jones. This is the craziest one you're ever going to hear. Bobby Jones originally wanted Augusta National to have 19 holes. Okay? No way. He wanted to have an odd number of holes because he thought that in the course of members playing each other, that they could come to the 18th hole and be tied. Yeah. And so they thought the 19th hole would be the one. It would be a tiebreaker. And you know what he wanted to do? He wanted to make it a par 3, 90 yards uphill shot where you had to pitch the ball uphill. And luckily for us, that idea was scrapped.
Yeah.
Now the 19th hole.
Not it's one of those ideas where you're like, yeah. So now, luckily for all of us, the 19th hole is far more beneficial to everybody involved.
Exactly.
So
that's what we're all trying to be. We're all trying to be at the 19th hole.
That's what we're looking forward to the whole game.
That's right.
Here's another one for you. You might not have known this one, Jen. 1983. Our former president, Ronald Reagan, playing 18 over at Augusta with it as a guest, believe it or not, a guest of a member, the president of the United States as a guest of a member, George Shultz, nothing to do with peanuts.
Oh, man.
He was the Secretary of State for President Reagan at the time. His round was interrupted on the 16th hole. Anyone? Any idea how his round was interrupted?
A gopher?
Well, no, this local, good one. Yeah. This local Georgian, Charles Harris, sorry about that, crashed his truck through the gate and was demanding to see the president. Oh. He actually held people hostage at gunpoint in the pro shop for 2 hours.
No way.
Before the Secret Service agents subdued him. I am not making that up. I know that is fact.
Wow.
Crazy.
And what did he want?
I don't know.
I want to know more. Yeah, right. I want to know more.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be the
I'm just going to leave you hanging there. You're going to have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking that one up when I get home. No problem.
Duck, go. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. So we talked about Jack Nicklaus and how many wins he had, how many top 5s, top 10s, and top 15s, right? So let's talk about the runners-up, the people that were number 2. And then we'll talk about all the famous number 2s, Mr. Norman, okay? The runners-up in these categories, okay? In wins, the runners-up are Arnold Palmer and Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods are second in top 5s. Ben Hogan is second in top 10s. And Sam Snead is second in top 15s. And none of them are anywhere near what Jack did over the years. It basically dismantling Augusta for 20.
He always showed
years.
up. Every year he showed up, and that's really hard to do.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. Absolutely unbelievable. So, where are we at now? What do you want to talk about? Second places, famous second places.
Well, there's Norman, like you said. I mean, he
Phil
took
Mickelson.
one right on the chin.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson won one, but up until the time that he won it, he was a famous second placer too, all the time, even in the U.S. Open and stuff like that. But God, is there anything more? I don't even know if you remember this. I'm a little older than you. I watched it live. I watched it happen. Greg Norman falling apart with Nick Faldo just in the charge, and Nick Faldo winning the Masters.
96.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's happened to Norman a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not in the Masters, but there were some other big tournaments that he had the lead coming into Sunday, and the wheels fell off.
Well, he won the British Open a couple times, but he never won the Masters.
Really?
I remember Ernie Els coming in as a runner-up quite often.
Yeah,
it felt like.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Nick Faldo, Nick Faldo had a couple of really cool playoffs too. The one playoff he had with Tiger Woods' buddy there. No, not Tiger Woods' buddy. It was he had a playoff, and they were going back and they were playing the 10th hole or 9th hole, and he put it in the water. Remember when he put it in the water and Faldo was
Raymond Floyd?
Yeah, Raymond Floyd. Thank you. God, I love having a producer. So Ray Floyd and Faldo are going head to head. They're in a playoff, right?
Yeah.
And Faldo was like, they were talking about it last week. I don't know if you saw it, but he was just like dumbfounded. He was like, I can't believe that Floyd just put it in the water,
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about second place finishers when we get back, but we're going to take a quick break.
Commercial.
We're going to hear from my buddy Ann, and then we're going to talk about Josh's company too, Fairway. See him down below there.
Have you already put away your golf clubs in favor of your snow shovel? Well, if you live here in New England, that is probably already the case. Living up here year-round is not conducive to living your ideal golf lifestyle. With our friends from Golf Life Navigators and Realtor Ann Cummings, we can live our ideal golf lifestyle all year long. Golf is alive and well all year in the Sunshine State, and they will find your forever home or even just your snowbird home right on some of the best golf courses Florida has to offer. Stop thinking about your next great golf adventure and take the first step today by contacting Ann Cummings at 603-770-1985 or email at ansellsunshine@gmail.com. Ann will find you the house and course that matches your ideal golf lifestyle. Contact her today. Again, that number is 603-770-1985 or email at ansellsunshine@gmail.com. Golf Life Navigators. Finding home never felt better.
You guys done? Yeah?
Sorry.
All right, we're back. Hey, it's all right. Listen, we're professionals
Josh,
here.
We're going to chat when we can.
We're all professionals. All right, first foreign-born winner of the Masters. Anyone?
Gary Player.
Very good.
What country?
South Africa.
Very good.
Ooh,
All
that was
right.
good.
Right? Aren't they, like, other than the Americans, aren't they pretty much the dominant force at the Masters?
Along with another country. Which one is that?
Spain?
Correct. Very good.
No kidding.
Jose Maria Olazabal,
Yeah.
one of my favorites. And, of course, Sergio Garcia. And even more, of course, from Spain, Mr. Seve Ballesteros. Let's talk about some names, okay?
Great
that
names.
have won Byron Nelson, Gene Sarazen. Who can forget Gene Sarazen, right? We were all there. We watched it live. His eagle on the 11th hole, all right? 4 eagles have been done in play. 5, right? Or double eagles. Double eagle. I apologize. I'm talking about a double eagle. Byron Nelson, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan. I mean, Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Gabe Brewer. You got Tommy Aaron, Ray Floyd, Tom Watson, Gary Player, Fuzzy Zeller is who I was thinking of, the first timer. That's the first timer who played it for the first time, 1979. You got Seve Ballesteros, Tom Watson, of course. I mean, Ben Crenshaw. Who can forget Ben Crenshaw's win in 1984? That was an awesome, awesome win. Nick Faldo, of course, He won back-to-backs, which has only been done by him and I think Jack, right?
Tiger did it.
Tiger and Jack.
Tiger did it, what, 0102?
I think it's Tiger and Jack.
Like that,
yep,
yeah.
0102.
Say, when's Tiger coming up?
Actually, maybe Jack didn't even do it, did he?
Jack did it 65, 66.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did. Crazy stuff, huh?
One of my favorites was Bubba, though.
Yeah.
The year that Bubba Watson won, and I have a soft spot for him because I'm also left-handed.
Yep.
But man, that ball he hit off the pine straw, and you knew he was trying to hook it around that tree, and it just worked beautifully. And you could tell when he won, it meant so much to the guy.
Yeah.
It meant so much to him.
And then he won it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he won it again 2 years later. Yeah. He actually almost won it the year that Adam Smith won it, too. So he could have conceivably won it 3 times.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. I apologize. Yeah. I apologize. My bad. And Jordan Spieth, an unbelievable 18 under par.
Yeah, I mean, he's one that you could see, at that time when he was so young and he was coming along, you would have expected so much more out of him at this point.
Yep, you would have.
And he's kind of fallen off a little bit. Even Rory's not what he was, as a younger guy as far as what we thought he was going to be. So
it's hard, though. See. You said it earlier. It's hard when you're number one and you're up there on top, and it's hard to stay there. It really is. It's not an easy task.
Right.
I mean, to win it once and then to win it more than once is absolutely incredible.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Incredible stuff.
I got a fun little question for you. I don't know if it's on your list, though.
Okay.
Who was the first $1 million winner?
That's a good question.
Of the Masters?
Of the Masters, yes.
Wow.
The last... Oh, I can't give it away. That'll give it away. The last non-$1 million winner was Vijay Singh.
So I'm going to say it's got to be Tiger.
It's Tiger, 2001,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, think of it. We talked about that before in our podcast, how much the purses of the PGA in general, after Tiger came on the scene, they went up like tenfold. I mean, they went up to the millions. I mean, this, awesome. You're winning. They don't even disclose how much it is, but you hear it's like at least $2.08 million, but I've heard it's $2.8 million that you win for the Masters. But again, it's a very, very shrouded in mystery.
And I'm sure that same sort of a thing happened to the purses during the days of Jack and Arnie as well.
Sure.
And they brought the game along so far, and then kind of it went to Tiger, and Tiger now gave it a push, and who knows who the next guy is going to be.
It's interesting you say that because Arnold Palmer was the first winner over $10,000.
Yeah.
Huh.
So he was the first one, and then after him, it kept steadily jumping up when before it wasn't moving very much, 1,500, and it took like 20 years.
Does it say how much Dustin won? 2.8 million?
It's saying it's 2.070, but that's what it was last year, so I think they just haven't updated it.
Yep. So here's another fact. I know you're not going to know this. If you do know this, then text me because you're really awesome. An original membership share in Augusta National. Okay, if you bought into Augusta National back then, how much it was going to cost you?
$35.
A little more than that, but close.
$1,500.
No, if you just add a zero to yours, $350.
Oh wow!
I feel like I saw that one somehow.
In today's dollars would be $4,217.
Jeez, you can't get in half the courses around here for $4,000.
Add 6 zeros to that. That's the membership fee now.
Yeah, you don't even know, actually. That's a good question. Yeah, you don't even know how much it is to be a member. You don't even know. Other cool thing is did you know this one? The champion, well, I mean, I know that Josh knows this, but the champion gets to pick the dinner, right? The championship dinner the night before everybody starts, a Tuesday night before the following 3.
The following year,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
they said it was very strange this year because they all had to socially distance.
Yes.
So picture they're in a huge clubhouse, banquet style, and everyone goes up and gets their food, and they've got all their tables 2 by 2. But then poor Tiger's sitting in the middle, and nobody's talking to him because everyone's talking to whoever they've been seated with, and Tiger's sitting there in the middle all alone. That must have been strange.
He's been there. He's been there 5 times though. So
yeah,
he had a very simple menu, I believe. I remember correctly. Huh. It was simple and delicious, according to they had. I think they had milkshakes for dessert,
for the
right?
Next person,
yeah, I have it right here.
You got it right there.
Yeah, there were milkshakes. Wood served the Augusta roll, a sushi roll with shrimp and tuna, as well as steak and chicken fajitas. A dessert trio of flan churros and sopapillas.
Sopapillas, nice.
And 2 options for red wine.
And Tiger playing.
And he had milkshakes for dessert.
And a waitress or 2.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Fun fact. Another fun fact about waitresses.
I'm hungry. That sounds good.
Want to go to Perkins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Was it a Waffle House too?
Yeah, probably. But Perkins is the one that stands out.
All right. Let's go back to the Mavs. Let's go back to Augusta. Okay. So you remember when, and obviously we all remember World War II. We were there. Again, World War II. A lot of things shut down during World War II, and Augusta was no exception to this. From 1943 to December 1944, Augusta National closed as a golf club. At Bobby Jones's suggestion, he chose to support the war effort and improve his own finances of the golf course. Can you imagine this was a time when Augusta National didn't have a lot of money, right? They took on 200 head of cattle and 1,000 turkeys.
Whoa.
The livestock kept the grass mowed, but it also beat up the fairways and devoured all the plantings. Okay? In a nearby Fort Gordon, there were 42 German POWs that were being held in Georgia. They were brought over to restore the golf course, and there were members, believe it or not, it gets even better than this, members of a bridge building engineering crew in Rommel's Africa Corps erected a bridge over Rays Creek. And unfortunately, it doesn't stand today. They apparently weren't that good of bridge builders, but it lasted until the 50s. So thought you would useless information that I've looked up on the internet.
That you'll never forget.
I know. I probably never will.
You'll tell me that in like 30 years.
Maybe 30 years. But so I hope you guys enjoyed this show. We're gonna do what am I talking about? Ben, help me out. Quote of the week, right? I know we didn't do a quote of the week.
We didn't talk about our friend.
No, I'm going to get to that.
Don't want to forget him.
Our quote of the week, as it's been brought to you last week and this week and the week ahead, it will be brought to you by the mortgage team of ELK Mortgage Team or Elk Mortgage Team from Fairway Independent Mortgage. Josh Frias is the owner of that. And if you're looking for a mortgage refi, need some help, have some questions about it, give them a call. 603-570-9338.
You got it.
All right. And this week, we got the famous Chichi Rodriguez. I thought I would pull out a Masters quote as only appropriate, right? He says, Chichi said, the first time I played the Masters, I was so nervous, I drank a bottle of rum before I teed off. He said, I shot the happiest 83 of my life. But here's a fun fact about our quote. Chichi actually didn't really shoot an 83 in his first Masters round. It was only a 77. But as Chichi once said in another context, I never exaggerate, I just remember big. So those are our 2 quotes from our 2 Masters shows. I hope you guys liked our show. We're looking for our sponsors for our spring season. We got a great product service you want to promote. Please message me on Facebook or email me at craig@foregolf.com. And like us on the United Podcast Network. Like us on Facebook, YouTube. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Josh. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everyone.
And we'll see you soon. See you next week. We're going to talk about Club 14. All right.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.